Not being liked, understood, or accepted is not necessarily a bad thing. And I think people just need to stop internalizing it as something wrong with them and understanding it as just a fact of life. This video will help you reflect and realize all the ways in which that may be true and how you may not be showing up as your authentic self. And how convincing you to change and embody that will get you on a direct path of your life's true purpose and all of the people meant to be in it. Speaking from experience, I would often change my mood or my personality depending on who I was around, just for their liking and acceptance. Forcing yourself to be somebody you're not over time can be incredibly exhausting, and no matter who you are, people are going to judge you no matter how hard they try not to. So I chose this as my very first YouTube video because I think in today's world, we're so easily influenced and distracted by so many things and so many people on a day-to-day basis that people often forget who they are and how to be themselves. So you ask what that looks like. When you know yourself at a core level based on your morals, your values, your beliefs, and experiences that have shaped you, no one's projection or assumption of you can shake you without needing to explain yourself or trying to get people to understand. There is a complete comfort in that. Confidence. I think a lot of people get confidence confused with arrogance. At least I know I did for the longest time. And it really is just somebody that is entirely comfortable in their skin and unapologetically themselves. They know who they are. I'm also a firm believer that true confidence comes from a place of certainty and being okay with it, whether or not somebody does or doesn't like you. I heard this quote once and I will never forget it because I feel like you definitely relate to it once the shift happens. So it said something along the lines of, I used to walk into a room and wondered if they liked me, and now I walk into a room and wonder if I like them. So I don't know who or where the quote came from, but if you know where, you can leave it in the comments. The truth of the matter is, no matter who you are not going to get along with everybody or be accepted by everybody, and you have to learn to be okay with that. Not being liked, understood, or accepted is not necessarily a bad thing, and I think people just need to stop internalizing it as something wrong with them and understanding it as just a fact of life. Distractions and influences. I just want to emphasize to start how much I feel like people and trends and influencers and social media as a whole just really prevent us and distract us from being able to effectively think for ourselves. We all have unique qualities, special interests, and traits, but there's no way we can completely embrace that unless we limit our distractions and our self-limiting beliefs of who we should be based on how other people are, what they expect of us, and how we're comparing to that. If you take the time to limit or restrict yourself from outside influences, I think you'd be surprised at not only how much better you feel, you'd recognize all the ways in which it changes you and leads you further away of who you're meant to become. Fear. And letting go of the fear of judgment. This one is going to be just short, sweet, and to the point. Once you let go of your fear of how you're perceived, it's incredible how less stressed and liberated you feel from not having to pretend, force, or fake anything that is exhausting. You remove that pressure of trying to keep up with and maintain a false image. I am so sorry. That's my dog telling me to go to bed. It is 2:15 in the morning. I cannot make this up. Here it is. For proof. I'm almost done. When you drop the mask, you'd be surprised how quickly the right opportunities, forgot it. I had to look at my script. The right connections and the right energy finds you all together. This is a big one I'm still working on, and please feel free to give your advice when it comes to this, because I think we all could use it. But that is people pleasing. One of the biggest barriers to being your true self is people pleasing. And it can be difficult because on the surface, it looks like you're just trying to be kind and do something thoughtful and trying to avoid conflict. But underneath that is fear. And by saying no, you are fearing being judged, being disliked, or being abandoned. This goes to show you that you cannot be yourself by continuing to seek everybody else's approval. And authenticity means choosing honesty over acceptance. I used to think that when it seemed like everybody liked me, I was doing something right. But now I look back and I look at the same people in these positions, and it's like, you know what, maybe we are doing something wrong, because that's not really possible. If you are being yourself, you are going to have enemies no matter what, no matter who you are. And last, but certainly not least, is seeking validation and approval. I have to show you my dog and how he's judging me right now. Ozzy. And now he looks away because he's camera shy. But if I'm looking off to the side, just that's why. So, I'm going to start with my own personal testimony with this and the validation and approval, just because I used to be somebody that would post frequently on social media. Whether it was a post or a picture, I often think about the root reason or cause behind it, and I think it really stemmed from a place of insecurity and just seeking that validation. For me, there was a discomfort in who I was or trying to be. Once you're secure enough in yourself, you don't seek out that unnecessary attention or approval. Validation feels good, but it is not peace. Real peace is knowing you're enough even when no one says it. You don't need permission to be yourself. You just need the courage to stop asking for it. That is the end of my video. I just want to say I love and appreciate you if you've made it this far. It is 3:30 in the morning, and I just felt really compelled to make my first YouTube video tonight, and I started at midnight, and I thought it wasn't going to take me longer than maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So on another note, I'm learning, and I appreciate you and your patience with me. So hopefully I made sense throughout this video. I guess I'll find out in the editing. But I just wanted to touch base on an important factor in all of this with this video and the reason behind it. So we know that it was about being yourself, and being yourself means a huge level of self-acceptance, but with self-acceptance is also self-awareness, and with self-awareness we need to take into accountability any toxic traits or patterns that we might have, and not just taking on this I am who I am mentality. So I really just wanted to emphasize on that, because this is something that doesn't happen overnight. It comes with experience and age and just a lot of very hard life learned lessons. So I say all that to say, be aware of who you are, but also take accountability for all the ways that you could be improving yourself and your relationships for the better. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.